Hey guys, it's Julie and I have Tang. He's worked with Gabby, he's worked with Nikki, and now he gets to work with me. I've talked about this before, but it is a huge benefit to our dogs to work with more than one handler. We actually like them to work with at least 3 people during their time with us, so they realize that the training applies no matter who's holding the leash, and they can we really get to see any weaknesses, or if the dog is pushy with new people, we really get to point out things that other people might not have noticed or compare notes, so it's really helpful. So today I am out with him. I told him to heel, I started walking, and he fell right into that position. Great job, Gabby, because she taught him this position. If he falls out of position or gets pushy, starts lagging, goes to the left, gets his nose on the ground, that's when I have my remote collar. I'm going to tap, and he should get back into position. It's that simple. But if he's in the right position, then he gets nothing but praise. And sometimes that might be just a neutral walk. If I am going to praise him just for being in position, it's not going to be overboard. It's going to be a neutral, good boy. Sometimes if we overpraise our dogs, like throwing them a party if they're just walking in the right position, it gets them too excited, which amps them up, which then leads to struggles. We want to keep them calm on the walk. If they're out, free time, hiking, playing fetch, break time, that's the time to get excited, amped up, but not while we are on our walk. So we're going to be running into some things. Here's a person walking up here. There's cars driving by. There's going to be dogs out in backyards. I'm looking for his reaction to just normal everyday things that he's going to run into in his life on walks. I'm looking for, does he bark? Does he lunge? Does he pull? Does he whine? Does he stop and refuse to move? These are all things. So right there, he just took it upon himself to go over to that fence and start sniffing. I don't know if I got it on the camera, but all I did was start clicking on the collar, and he moved himself right back into position. Just like that. It's hard for me to even see the screen right now. But that is why we have our collars. I have this on a 14 right now. It's a silent communication once the dog understands the language. I don't need to be overusing words. No, Tank, no, come. And dragging him with the leash. I want to see what he does with e-collar pressure first, because that's the basis of our entire program. So really, the dog comes to their own conclusions on what they want to do on the walk, because the system is applied when they make a wrong choice. So anything but heel, pressure turns on, and it turns off when he gets back into position. That's the system. The system falls apart when the dog starts making poor choices and there's no corrections for mistakes. There's an overreaction by the human that is angry, or too much leash guidance, too petting at the wrong time, gives the wrong message. So we like to stay calm yet assertive. Rely on the tool that he knows. And guess what? You'll have a really freaking awesome walk. I can even drop the leash and let it drag, just to show that this training doesn't rely on leashes. And he's following this left leg. So watch. If I turn, he's turning with me because he's paying attention to me. If he wasn't paying attention to me, he would be shooting ahead. Tap the tone there. I'm gonna stop up here and see if he sits or downs. Good. Down. And then let me flip the camera around. I've stopped at this nice little pocket of shade. I've put him in a down stay. Got some distractions here. This is what I was looking for.
It's all bravado. You know, she would be so much fun in the play yard. She's not aggressive. No. But that's what it sounds like.
Okay guys, so you probably just saw and heard that conversation. I didn't want to film my neighbor, but I just showed you a really useful way to use the downstay in a practical situation. I ran into a neighbor of ours, I stopped and chatted with her, and I put Tank in a downstay where he stayed the entire conversation. There was no wiggling, there was no hitting the end of the leash, there's no barking, there's no whining, there's no come on mom, let's go, impatience. He's just patiently waiting in that downstay. And if that's not useful, I don't know what is. Because that is just a practical use in the real world. Stopping to talk to a neighbor, and you should be able to stop to talk to people on walks without having to constantly worry about your dog. Understand that dog trainers have more finesse, more skill with the tools and the training and how we use our body language, tone, tone, tone. Watch how he finds heel. Good. But it speaks volumes that a person that has never worked this dog before can take the dog and start giving commands and the dog listens without a doubt. That is pretty awesome. The reason why I walk with my hand behind my back like this is so you guys can see the dog. Because if I have it like this, you can't see him. Sit down. Good boy. Good boy! Right at my feet. Very good. Good boy. Stay. Break. Good boy!